Hello and happy Monday. Take two, I have to tell you. And so I'll catch up with myself, but I'll just say hello. I'm Lori LaRose. I have Active Stamping here on Facebook and also on YouTube. And I just got a phone call saying that I was doing my live without any sound. So thank you very much, Vicki, for helping me out with that. Hopefully she pops on here in a couple seconds. So I actually made a really short intro as it was. And while I was doing the intro or flipping it around, I hit a couple buttons, and obviously I hit the mute as well. So I will pop you guys back down and we'll, oh my gosh, I just did something. Anyways, I'll show you what I was doing. Hello, Debbie. This is take two if you're brand new. I'm just putting you down right now. So hold on one second here. Hello, Vicki. Testing. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Yay! I think while I put you guys down and it was products and all that sort of stuff, I think I got really messed up. So, okay. Now I did get this a little lower. Okay, and then we'll zoom it in a little tiny bit. Put this down a little tiny bit. All right. So I was just busy talking. Vicki, gosh, thank you so much for letting me know. She actually had to phone me because she might have even put something on the thing. But anyways, all right. So I am Lori LaRose and I have Active Stamping here on Facebook. I was busy. I stamped. I used an embossing buddy on a plain piece of white embossing buddy, and then I stamped with Versamark and using the True Beauty, and I was babbling away about that for some of these old techniques that I'm playing with, and I am just going to play. I'm not positive what we're going to end up with. This is going to be pretty just white on white even, but looking for when you're trying to pull and replicate whatever the heck I am going to end up doing tonight, you sort of need a solid image to do some. We're going to put some color over top of this eventually, and so then I think we'll need that. So then I've dumped the powder on. I dumped it onto there and I've put it back into here. So now I think I did put the phone back down on top of it, but it looks pretty good. And we'll go ahead and heat emboss this. The one plus I should have, while I was on the telephone, I should have heat embossed it so you guys didn't have to do the crazy noise. Hi, Keisha. Hello, Betty. All right, so this is good because now I definitely have sound. Hurrah. And here we go. So I'm not sure how much you guys can see. One thing that I will say with heat embossing, sadly there's a little something in my powder, obviously I have that little flecks of black. If you just hold it nicely, instead of doing it like you're blow drying your hair, this will be a little bit interesting because the stamper is probably one of those distinctive, and I did hesitate. So when I'm coloring over top, it might be interesting, but let's go with it. Sorry, it's very noisy. I think sometimes it cuts out some of the noise, especially if I keep talking the whole time. So I also was saying that Facebook, if you see a technique of mine and you're like, where was that? I should actually double check myself on the YouTube channel, but Facebook is only keeping okay, I'm going to go ahead and color this as I get going. I am going to use, Balmy Blue. Yeah, to this week, or maybe it was just today. Keisha is, we're trying something new and I love it. Today is International Puppy Day. And so, yes, I was going to do something with puppies today, and I might get back to that. But right this very minute, of course, I'm crazy and saw something that I wanted to try and play with together. So I'm just going to be using blending brush, and I'm going to apply stuff all over this, starting off the page and coming on. Balmy Blue is one of the colors, one of the challenges of the week. So over on Creativity for Everyone, a group that you can join, and please play along, we have been doing color challenges, and people aren't really playing. So Keisha's like, what about if we do something different? I'm trying to do this too fast, so you're getting some really solid coloring. And it's not bad, but it's sometimes I get yakking, and instead of paying attention, I come onto the page faster than my brush tells me I should. Anyway, so she said, what if we do a different theme each week? Or each week, right, Keisha? And so this week's theme is puppies. So I'm very curious if you guys are going to play along. And how many puppies do we have? Oh, and I just got rid of some of mine. Where did I put them? Oh, Darn it, you guys, I just had some puppies here. I think they'll be right here. You know, my favorite puppy is the one with the kids. But where are the kids? You're like, we can't hear you again. I know. Here it is. You can't hear me because my head's in my shelves. I'm thinking puppy, so I could be playing with him tonight. There's a puppy in a Christmas set with a staircase, and I'm thinking, ooh, pull that out, you guys, and work with it. You can either make an early Christmas card, but I'm thinking use your imagination or your creativity a little bit and pull in maybe a Mr. Rogers theme or something. Pull in that puppy and see. I think the swing set maybe has a puppy right now. And, well, there's a few different puppies for sure, right? And then, of course, there's the brand new puppy that I just put away here. Oh, look at that. I could post this. I didn't make it today, though, but definitely a challenge for the challenge situation, hey? We can have International Puppy Day today, right? And so for the whole week, post your cards on Creativity for Everyone. Join the group if you haven't already. But yeah, post your cards and people will be like, ooh, it'll be awesome. So I'm just inking around this. And I guess to get some definition of this rose, I'm gonna have to get inside and put some ink down. Look at that pop. Can you see that popping? Oh, puppies. Keisha will have all sorts. She's lovely with that. Okay, this is fun. Look at how fun that gets. Nice. But yeah, so on YouTube, I did transfer over most of my my lives that I've done through the time, and I wrote descriptions, and of course they also have a thumbnail, thumbprint, whatever. And the picture, I was going to show you my thumb, but the card is what's shown. So then if it's like, oh, that card looks nice, you'll have an easier thing. Watch how this goes. Watch. This is fun. Woohoo! So this set actually works really, really nice. I'm gonna say this one's a good one. So True Beauty is a good one to do with. So sets that have this. If we were going to do fall colors, one of my favorite all-time sets is probably... Is it right here? Yes. Nope. Oh, rats. Something leaves. Oh, I just saw it. Anyways. Oh, here. Forever Fern. So this one would probably also look really pretty done up with this set. Okay. So now we've got some color going on there. So that's nice. When you're doing resist like that, it's kind of nice. You can take then a little tissue and you can take off and the white becomes whiter. So it's just a dry tissue and it makes them pop a little tiny bit more. So honestly, we could practically do something with that already now by adding in, again, I'm just adding weird things, but you could add like a flower and a sentiment. And I'm just totally using weird things, but you know what I mean? And you'd almost have a card like that. But that we're not stopping yet. Just you wait. All right, I do need to. I pulled some dies out, but of course I didn't come through. I didn't do that yet. So let me grab a couple dies here. Hang on. And... So I'm just die cutting right now. And instead of paper saving, I will be using the very middle of it because I'm going to use it as a stencil. I'm hoping that it looks good. And maybe, nope. Ooh, look at that pretty guy. Might be able to use that down the road. Let's start with this one and see how it goes. Maybe it's all we'll need. So I'm going to use the cutout, not this part, but that part as a die, And again, see, I'm working with really, really big stuff for this little tiny thing. So this, I think if we had smaller, we might be happier. And hang on one second, this is pretty big. We had a leaf punch, and I'm thinking, oh, do I have that right handy to punch really fast? No. That one. Hang on one second, guys. Let's try this guy. See if it's any better. It's more moldy, but oh, and it moved down to the end. Hang on. Oh, this might look prettier anyways. We'll go with it. So this is another guy. Oh, rats, you guys. He doesn't want to come out. Oh, for goodness sakes. And he'd be so good. Hang on one second. I'll run him through again another time. If you're like, what are you doing, Laura? Sorry. Do you know, I need to get actually new plates. They're pretty warped, and so they're not cutting as clean as they should. So I was looking for a Filmy. He still doesn't want to come. Come on. Come on. I think I've told the story about in Vietnam. Come on is thank you. But if you don't say it correctly, you're actually telling them to shut up. and I kind of laugh because I actually use the term come on quite often, but they kind of go, give the back of their throat. Sorry, this is sticking in two spots, and I've never noticed. Sorry, not that I ever needed it out, but this is going to be so pretty. Look at how pretty this guy is. Yay. Hi, Debbie. Okay, so now I'm going to pull in a darker blue. Maybe Misty Moonlight, because I'm going to try one more color over top of it also. Oh, and you know also what you could have done? But I kind of like the white. Yeah, it's good. All right, so it's going to not go through some of these, and that's okay. So I'm going to have it like this, I think, a little bit. And we'll pull in some Misty Moonlight. I'm just going to test it here a little tiny bit. See what I think of that. Well, I think that's kind of pretty. Okay. So I'm just using the cutout as a stencil. And adding a little tiny bit of another layer of ink. And I think you've heard me say, if you watch very often, I really need to re-ink all of my guys. Hey, you stay where you belong, you little guy. And I'm hoping that it's a little darker than what it seems like. So it doesn't look very dark, but let's see. Ta-da! Look how pretty. Right, so then we're going to do another one over here. Going over top there. I am going to need to move my finger as it goes here. So pretty. Definitely a third one here. You You little sucker, get over there where you belong. Where do you belong? That's a question. That's the question of the day. There it is. Oh, we'll stay with that. Good. Put another little one here. So, of course, you have to be a little gentle as you get going, but that looks pretty. And then we'll do another one here as well, I think. Now, of course, you don't want it to move while you're doing it. So I am trying to be hurrying, but you could take a few minutes and be calm and easy with it. Oh, look, that all went together. Now, I'm not positive. I guess that's hitting here, which is unfortunate. Now, the plus is, at least on the flower, I can take it off, so that line becomes a little less concerning. We do need one more down here, though. Couple of the blue here. All right. How pretty is that? Okay, so step 2, you could leave it right there. But we're going to go crazier. Can you imagine? Look how pretty that is. Oh, you guys. Take a snapshot of that. That's nice. Okay, so here, that looks weird, right? You think? But ta-da! And here too. Wait, take another screenshot when it looks prettier. All right, and that. All right, so very pretty. Reminds me of something. So I could put this aside and be like, ta-da, we're good. But I saw an idea. So we're going to continue on and try one more time. And it's going to freak some of you out. But no, I'm not throwing it away. I'm just making it crazy. You're like, what did you just do, Lori? It's okay. It's okay. What? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Didn't get crumpled quite enough. All right, flatten it out. I'm going to bring in my balmy blue again, I think. And I'm going to add in mostly over the cracked areas and see what happens here. So then the wrinkles get a different little angle on them. I'm sort of surprised. The wrinkling is not adding as much it's not taking ink any much more than what I thought, but it still looks kind of cool. And I don't know if I need a slightly different ink over that area, which I would be surprised if I do, but I'm going to do a slightly darker one. Back to the moonlight and see. Surprisingly, I feel like that is working a bit better. Okay. So I'm either coming off the page onto it, or like I was using the flower as a place for the ink to go. So it's I feel like it's accenting the wrinkles, even though it doesn't seem to be way crazy darker. I still think the wrinkles are still getting an accent, hey? All right, so that's kind of pretty. I definitely need to wipe off the ink. Otherwise, I will have it all over my fingers. This is day 3 of inky fingers, you guys, hey? You're like, yikes, Lore. And then you can remove just a little tiny bit more. What's that? Oh, you know, that honestly is my embossing is cracked and it's peeling a little tiny bit, and that's okay. So then, I think what we could do is you could iron this. And if you iron it, those things will go on to a second side and you would have yet another thing. I'm wondering if I should show that to you right now. All right, so that's really pretty, hey? Dun, da, da, da. And actually, you know what? That would also take it away. I think that is what batiking is. Maybe that's the whole dealio. Hang on one second, guys. I just plugged in an iron. Hang on, everybody, hang on. I just plugged in an iron and I'm going to grab a sheet of paper. I'll just do whatever this one is and it'll work nicely enough. Okay. So it'll be a mini one and then another sheet of this. So you could have a total equal side. I'm not 100% positive how good this is going to turn out, so I'm doing a mini version of it. But I'm going to iron over top of this, and I will put an extra piece of paper over top so everything's good. I also am going to put a little sheet down here. So hang on one second. I need a little material. You can totally put this on a small ironing board. So my iron's just heating up as I'm going here. And this, I guess, is where the batik comes from, because in batiking, you iron out your wax. And this is a type of a wax, isn't it? All right. So I will grab my iron and I'll be right back. Hoping it heated up really fast. And stays hot for a while because I have unplugged it from its safe area. All right, let's see how this goes. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I'm just going to press down. This I'm going to do like that. And press. So this is the batiking part, I think, okay? Is it going to work? Well, we're going to find out. So I'm removing the embossing powder from the original. Well, it's working. It's coming off. Using an older iron is always a great idea, or you definitely want to have more paper to get it all off, right? And then on the other side of this, I have it on here now. Dun, 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 dun. And I still have little tiny bits on here, so I just have to do a little bit more. Hang on a second. So it did work. It is working. And there's no shininess. So then it becomes like a mystery as to how did they get that to stay white? Because there's no embossing on it anymore. So I will show you. I don't know if you can see what the heck I'm doing, but I will say this. I feel like my iron might be losing its heat, and so I will pause on that, finish it off after, but I'll show you what happened. You can see there's residue, like waxy residue, and there. I'm going to put some ink on here and see how much it did. And I'll show you this. So there's just, can you see? There's a little tiny, yeah, see there's little tiny bits left. So I'll heat it again on another piece of paper and I'll get rid of that little, every once in a while. This one has a fair amount, but these guys have nothing left. There's no shiny whatsoever left on them. Does that make sense? So now when you look at this in real life, you're like, whoa, I can't see, how did they do that? So it's just kind of cool. The ironing also, of course, ironed it. So that's double perfect. And then we can use this now as a beautiful background to do whatever the heck we want to finish the card, right? And that can be using real parts of this cut out and made onto it, or we can pull in different colors of similar stuff or such, right? And then, of course, you know me, I never really went past the technique. So that's where I'm at there. Now, hold on one second, because this piece here, I'm curious how much went on here and will it resist? So let's put some ink on here. It's slightly blue, so I'm going to pull in a different color just for fun. And I'm just not sure that it's going to, it doesn't feel like much, so I'm not sure how much it's going to resist is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to bring in, oh, you know what, it's so light. I'm actually going to pull in a really dark, gorgeous grape. There we go. Yes, I was thinking a lot there. Could you see the smoke curling out of my head? Oh, this is so pretty, you guys. It's so pretty in real life. I think it looks pretty from your side as well, but nice. Okay, let's see if this resists at all. I don't feel like it will, but maybe it is going to. I guess it is, in a different way again. Not with the same ferocity, is that the right word? I won't have the details. But it's still kind of interesting, eh? So it's more blobby on this, in this case. So tomorrow night, I'll show yet another way of making two from one. And in this case, if like if I used a stamp like this and I went across, it would be good. It's that this doesn't have any distinction, so I have to use, I can't wipe it off either. That'll be what it is. It's not quite resisting, it's just, I don't know what you'd call it. What would you call that? But the bigger problem is that it's blobby. Do you know what I mean? This would work for 2-set stamp. So if this guy had an outline, you know how some of our sets have that? That would be one way definitely to do that. Some of you are going like, what do you mean, Laura? I know you know what I mean. I'll show you. These guys are attached, unfortunately, but then it'll get clear as mud. So this is a 2-step, right? There's this guy and there's this guy. So if I use this guy on here, which I could, I would have that done. And then when I came over here, he would be this blob, but then I could bring in this and I'll show you, it'll be awesome. And he will be quite pretty. I need the purple, here it is. So I'm going to do tone on tone on tone, monotone. So I'm just inking up the one guy, hoping anyways. And it's not correct. This is not the right shape. Know that I know that. I'm just continuing with my forever pretend. You know that I pretend all the time, but it's a pretty similar shape, so I think it's going to work pretty good. So-so. It's a little bit too blobby, right? But maybe this guy will work nice. Let's do him too. He's got a little few different angles again. So better than a kick in the bum. Just showing. Again, know that I know this isn't the right shape, but the idea is there. That's cool. I could totally work with that and do something with that. 100%. Ta-da! Okay. Yay! So, I need to just clean this up here. That's fun. Fun stuff. All right. And then this guy here, a nice sentiment and possibly a bow. Does this fit on here? Oh yeah. A bow, a sentiment. Cool. Okay. I was laughing because I have drinks here. Hang on, do I have anything to be able to finish this off neatly and nicely? Thinking not. No. This is feeling very, very pretty. So I don't feel like any of this stuff. This one is feeling this way. Well, maybe. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can pull this together. I need a sentiment layer. That's too big. Not white though. That's not quite right either. Sorry guys. No, I'm not making a lot of sense right now. I get it. I get you. This is too big. So big you lose it all. Not sure that I love the yellow, but I'm just trying to give an example. And then I can stamp what word could go on here. Do you know what? Let's pretend that this is good words. It's like a painting party. There. That's pretty. And then I just need a background. So you could pretend that was really pretty. Anyways, all right. I'll leave you to it, you guys. I like it. Use every different color afterwards. And then 1,010 colors. Anyways, I think this, I like the idea of a cup. You know, I always love a glass of drink. Wish I had a few other drinks here. Anyways, all right, gals, I'll leave you with it and go from there. But yeah, so try and play with your little, your batik, Lori style. I'm not sure that that's officially the batik way, but I really like the way it turned out. So tomorrow night, I'll show you how to get 2 different ones, sort of like we did today, but using your embossing folders instead tomorrow night. Okie dokie. All right, we'll talk with you later. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and thanks for your patience at the beginning. You guys on record, if you're watching the recording, you won't know what I'm talking about, but the rest of you that came back, thank you. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.